I'd like to look more at what's happening on the inside of this model. What's going on with my flow? And I didn't really, you can in your mesh define internal surfaces and they would show up on the list, but for this case, I didn't do that. So in order to show that, I want to cut my model in a few places and look at it on those cutting planes. And in order to do that, you hold down the shift key and you drag with the right mouse button. And as you do that, holding down shift, dragging with the right mouse button, it'll give you a line where you're going to cut. And then it brings up a window to give you the details of that. Well, where I just cut is not really where I want to look, so I'm just going to cancel that. I'd like to cut straight through in a plain normal direction. Well, it's kind of hard to line this up right on a direction, but a quick way of doing that, another quick step, is to rotate it. We're using our left mouse button and dragging. While you're doing that, if you hold down the shift key and then drag, it's going to snap. So that makes it very easy to get me a view exactly end on where I can make my cutting plane. So now I'm going to try that cutting plane again. I want to cut through these lower level vents. So I'm going to hold down the shift key and I'm going to drag with my right mouse button. I'm going to cross roughly where I want it to be and let go. And then this window pops up. So in this window, I can give this plane a name and say cut 1. And it gives me a point where it's going to start the cutting plane, and it gives me a normal direction. Well, when I dragged this, I was a little sloppy, and I'm kind of have a little angle on that line, which I don't want. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to change this to 0, 1, 0, which is going to give me a plane that's directly normal to the Y direction, a perfectly horizontal plane. When I hit OK, it generates that. We see it show up in the left under our post-processing planes. I don't see it though right now because I'm looking right edge on. But once I rotate the model, there's the plane I just created. So now we're looking at our velocity. We can see the jets coming in from each of these vents, how they go across. They're going underneath my racks of equipment across the room. Let's try one more cutting plane just for practice right now. So I want to do a vertical cut down, say at this end of the room. So what I'm going to do again to get an end view, hold down shift while you're dragging to rotate. You can get to that end view very quickly. In order to make the cutting plane, I'm going to drag with my right mouse button while holding shift. So I hit shift, I drag, make a line. Again, it's very hard to make something perfectly vertical. This one come up is a little slanted. So again, I want to just change that 001 this time. Give me a perfectly vertical line. And I'll change my name to vertical cut. So I know that it is. Again, it generates it. It shows up here on my list of post-processing surfaces. It's already turned on. And as I rotate, it shows up as a plane there.